Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Mahogany Sweets. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you want to. But I wanted to come and talk to you guys about an article that I just read, or was in the process of reading. But I was like, oh, I have to share this just in case you guys have missed it. And we can finish reading it together. So I'm on Twitter. I'm going through, what is it called? Trending, you know what I'm saying? Like the titles of what's going on in the world. And I come across China's Sharp Eyes program aims to surveil 100% of public space, right? And the reason why this is significant is because we know that with One World Order, the mark of the beast, it is all about Satan and the powers that be on this earth wanting to have the power of God. God sees all, He knows all, and He's capable of doing all, right? And that's why a lot of the stuff that they do, they name it after things like omni, right? That means all encompassing, such as God. He's all encompassing. Or God's eye, and like they name it after stuff like that because these are attributes that God has that they desire to acquire, and they are going to use technology to be able to do it all. For example, they say God knows our minds, He knows our thoughts, our hearts. Well, they want to chip the human mind and have a hive mind to where, oh, y'all ever seen Minority Report? Where it's basically like they can know a person's going to do a crime before they do it and stuff like that. Elon Musk has actually chipped 3 pigs to have a hive mind to where it sends data to us like a main data frame, a motherboard, computer. Everyone would be chipped with it in their psyche, and our minds will send data to it, signals to it, letting it know what we're thinking, what our emotions are. Like they're already using technology to read those things. Science, I'll say, because even with our body biology, like kind of like a lie detector test, how it can pick up chemical changes and responses in the body for them to have an idea of if a person's nervous or scared, or we have telltale signs in our body of if we're upset, if we're anxious, if we're worried, if we're tired, stuff like that. Well, with this data chip, it will send signals to them to where they can literally know our thoughts, and they also can send information data to our mind through the chip, instructing us. MK Ultra slave programming, where basically we'll be robots to a degree. That's what it's going to turn around and end up being, right? So Elon Musk did it with the pigs, and they plan to turn around and do that with mankind, with humans. And through technology, God can see everything. He's in all places at all times, right? So through technology and surveillance, them putting cameras in everything and around everything, they will be able to see everyone, the technology, the motherboard, data frame, whatever you want to call it. It will be able to see and clock what everyone is doing at all times. Kind of how God can do that, but Satan has to use technology to do it because he isn't God. And what's some other, like, it's just stuff like that. But anyway, let me read you this article, because in Plus China, y'all know they make all of our technology, everything, all of our devices are made in China. Our televisions, our smart televisions, our phones, our tablets, stuff like that. So of course, you don't think if they're spying, not even really spying on their own citizens due to the fact that their citizens are aware of it. But you don't think us, a foreign country who, let's say they're not on the greatest terms with, an enemy of theirs, you don't think that they are using the technology that they sent to us to use to spy on us? Okay, or these updates that our devices constantly have to do, we don't have a choice but to get the updates and stuff. Yes, they are spying on American citizens, not just government officials and stuff like that, but regular everyday American citizens. Let's read it because I don't even know how much space I have on this phone to make this video. So let me stop rambling, because I apologize, you guys, that I ramble so much and sometimes repeat myself over and over again. I am working on it. I've clocked it and I'm working on it. But anyway, okay, it says one of China's largest and most pervasive surveillance networks got its start in a small county about 7 hours north of Shanghai. In 2013, the local government in Pingyai County began installing tens of thousands of security cameras across urban and rural areas. More than 28,500 in total by 2016. Even the smallest villages had at least six security cameras installed, according to state media. Those cameras weren't just monitored by police and automated facial recognition algorithms. Okay, through special TV boxes installed in their homes, local residents could watch live security footage and press a button to summon police if they saw anything amiss. The security footage could also be viewed on smartphones. Facial recognition. We know that through apps such as Facebook, they're using facial recognition for you to be able to open up your own phone. Facial recognition, game systems and stuff, recording us. You remember when I think it was the Wii or the Xbox that came out to where it can record you playing the game and your wins and stuff like that. You don't think that they're watching us? So it made me think on the fact that, right, soon, anywhere that you are in the world, they're going to have this main data frame where they can recognize our face and know what we're doing, where we are at all times. And that's not necessarily a good thing. Okay, so let's continue on. Through special TV boxes and installed smartphones. In 2015, the Chinese government announced that a similar program would be rolled out across China with a particular focus on remote and rural towns. It was called the Zuliang Project, or Sharp Eye, a reference to a quote from communist China's former revolutionary leader Mao Zedong. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm botching these names. Who once wrote that the people have sharp eyes when looking out for neighbors not living up to communist values. So one of the things that they will continue to do, it goes to in the Bible. It says we would not be able to buy, sell, or trade without the mark of the beast. That people would be turned in by their own family and loved ones for not following communist views, status, rules. So this is basically just telling us that those days have started and are happening. And some of you might think, well, this is happening in China. It's not happening here where I live, whether that's Australia, Canada, America, wherever. It is going to go global around the entire world. So these things are starting off and sprouting in certain areas, but it's going to be global, okay? And you have to just look at the fact they said they're going to be able to watch 100% of their country, not just public places, areas, but even in your own home, in your neighborhood, in your vehicle. They are already getting us so accustomed to having all eyes on us, going live, taking pictures, driving jobs, delivery people, let's say DoorDash, and what's the ones where they Uber and stuff, where they're being watched, they keep an eye, and we, of course, we look at it as this is all for my protection. If you have a home security system set up in your home to where you can check home from any place that you are, you don't think that all that is going to another feed, to the security company's feed, government feed, for them to also be watching and checking? So it's just, to me, scary, okay? But they said communist views. People back then were telling on their neighbors, relatives, and stuff if they felt that they were not succumbing to the communist standard that was of that day and age and time. What is to come here in the 21st century that will be expected of us? Like, it's going to be a time where, no, you won't be able to just pray to your God and that's what you want to do. We're going to be being watched 24/7, and there's going to be people saying, hey, that family over there, last I knew, they were Christians. They have Bibles. I seen them praying. But anyway, so it's saying that the community can look at these feeds and with the click of a button, report to the police. So just think in today's day and age where we have people who, let's say, are racist towards other people, and they're already calling the police on them, saying that they feel they're suspicious in places that they don't got no business doing, being lying on them, saying that they're doing things that they ain't got no business doing and stuff. So just think of how many people, miserable, hateful, paranoid, vengeful people will be sitting at home watching these feeds and calling the police on anyone that's a minority for whatever reason and getting them killed even more or something, you know. But anyway, Sharp Eye is one of a number of overlapping and intersecting technological surveillance projects built by the Chinese government over the last 2 decades. Projects like the Golden Shield Project, Safe Cities, Skynet, Smart Cities, and now Sharp Eyes mean that there are more than 200 million public and private security cameras installed across China. Basically, it ain't a nook or cranny in that place that you can go where you're not being watched, okay? And it's crazy that they call it the one Skynet, right? What do you use the net for? To capture things. And then they say Skynet, like anything underneath the sky, we got it. And not just from surveillance, but Skynet, it also made me think anything that's shoot into these, what do you call them? They be in the sky. Sometimes they fall down. Anything shoot into these satellites, you know, the airwaves as well, not just visually, but what are you looking up on here? Who are you talking to? Where this call going out to? Everything text. So China's modern, oh, no. Every 5 years, the Chinese government releases a plan outlining what it looks to achieve in the next half decade. China's 2016 5-year plan set a goal for Sharp Eyes to achieve 100% coverage of China's public spaces in 2020. Though publicly available reports don't indicate whether the program has hit that goal, they suggest that the country has gotten very close. China's modern surveillance scheme, they call it a scheme, started in 2003 according to Delia Peterson, research analyst at Georgetown University Center for Security and Emerging Technology, with the creation of the Golden Shield Project. The Golden Shield Project, run by the Ministry of Public Security, MPS, is in part responsible for the country's strict internet censorship, but the program also included physical surveillance. The MPS created databases that included 96% of China's citizens. 96%. And we know China has a mass population, so 96%. That's dangerous. I mean, it's just scary when you really think about it. With one titled the National Basic Population Information Database. That database includes household registration information called HAKU or HUKU, as well as information on past travels and criminal history, according to a report from the Immigration and Refuge Board of Canada. So they sell these things to us, telling us our protection, telling us, just to keep us safe and stuff like that. But it's clearly more going on than just that. And I know that they constantly giving us all these reasons of why they need this information so they can better serve our communities, so they can better aid our livelihood, whatever. But I mean, it's a lot. Local population databases were also created according to a paper published in the American Journal of Political Science. These local databases allow for a blacklist, which barred the use of public transportation. Police would be dispatched if someone who had been blacklisted tried to book a bus, train, or airline ticket. Now, what gets them blacklisted? Wow. Following Golden Shield, China launched, right? See, so they got all these different things working collectively together, from the facial recognition algorithm to the neighbors being able to watch live feeds of what's going on and click over a button and call police, to you trying, knowing where you travel to, because that's what this one specifically centered around. If you traveled, if you have a criminal record, where all you've been, if you're trying to use a form of transportation. But this crazy to me, whether the person is a criminal or not, if they have served the time for their crime, why can't they use public transportation to get to where they need to go? Would they also not be able to have their own vehicle? Like that's just ridiculous to me. But anyway, also include a physical surveillance database. That database includes household registration. Okay. Local population database were also created according to a paper published. Okay, I already read that part. Following Golden Shield, China launched two other surveillance projects focused on the installation of cameras. Safe Cities, launched in 2003, focused on disaster warnings, traffic management, and public security. Skynet focused on installing cameras connected to facial recognition algorithms. Chinese state-run media has claimed Skynet can scan the entire Chinese population in 1 second with 99.8% accuracy. 99.8% accuracy. They might as well say 99.9% accuracy. Wow. Yet such claims ignore glaring technical limitations, Peterson wrote. Wow. Okay. So observers, wow, it said Skynet can scan the entire Chinese population in 1 second with 99.8% accuracy. They are trying to be God, because God, he got more than 99.8% accuracy. And his isn't limited to just that country, but the entire world. This is what their aim and goal is. But that's crazy. Think about how big the Chinese population is. Like, in case my memory is failing me, China is the largest like tribe known to mankind. They are like the biggest race of people that there is. That's a lot of freaking people that this thing can scan the entire country in 1 second. Okay, observers should take these figures with a grain of salt. No, I'm not taking accurate and up-to-date information about China's surveillance initiatives isn't easily available, and what is publicly known is mainly generated by academics and journalists with some access to government officials or surveillance equipment manufacturers. It's also unclear which cameras are exclusively viewed by village, city, and provincial governments. Sorry, I can't talk, y'all. And which feed data back to the central government. Of course, they won't want us to know which one does that, but I would say if they launch 5 different overlapping surveillance things, I would say probably at least 3 of them all of them sends it back to government. Shit, probably only 1 or 2 that is viewable to the public. The rest is going to them. Okay, just like Golden Shield, the Skynet program still exists today. We know that. And benefits from 16 years of AI research. So 16 years they have been working on this. Yeah, they had 99.8% accuracy. The photos from those security gates are AI research, as well as the tech industry's boom. According to the New York Times, Skynet data is used at building complexes. They use facial recognition to open security gates. Exactly. See, because if they get us in on it, then it's like, oh, well, this benefits us. We're not being spied on. This is something that's helping us all, such as to, what do you call it? Because this is basically saying to be able to get into your complex gate and stuff, but even to clock in, right? They want our fingerprints to clock in, to clock out, to gain access into certain type of buildings, our phones and stuff. Soon it'll be your car. To be able to start up your car, has to be an eyeball, stuff like that. That's where they're going with all this. It's going to all be intertwined to where you won't literally be able to do or have anything except for bending to the New World Order. However, these surveillance schemes are mostly targeted at cities, where funding and population density make centralized surveillance easier.